That was a close win. Can you tell us what was going through your head during that final 2-point conversion from the Sharks?
Well, we felt that it was eventually going to come. It was something we prepared for. I think it's tough for the first game because you never know what 2-point conversion they're going to come out with. But when you realize that you're up by 8 at a particular time, it's just a matter of time for them to get back into it that a 2-point conversion is going to come. Now, what's going in through my head is I'm nervous, I'm anxious, I'm petrified, but I'll never let anybody see that. But it's you have faith in your defense. You really do. This is what we practice for. It's what we work for. Everybody only sees us on these Sunday afternoons and these Saturday nights, but this is what we do Monday through Friday. And give all Jacksonville the credit in the world. They brought it down to the wire, made up some lost time, but we knew that 2-point conversion was going to come, and we were prepared for it.
All right, thank you.
That's a pretty good answer. That was a good answer.
Coach, during one of the 4th down stops, you got really excited and ran out onto the field. Sometimes you're out there trying to pump up the crowd. How much of your job do you feel it is to kind of keep the energy level high on this team?
I think it's every coach's job to do that. I think that the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs are just evident in arena football. I mean, this isn't a game where you punt 80 yards down the field and it takes you so much time to get down. I mean, it's back and forth, and we have a very young team, and I think with a young team, they need to understand that getting off the field on 4th down is humongous. I mean, that's a big deal to me. It's just as big as a turnover. So the fact that we were able to stop a pretty veteran team in Jacksonville on a number of 4th downs, I mean, it just pumps me up beyond belief because I know it takes the stress off the offense, and at the same time, it just makes me so proud. So, when we lose, it's all my fault. When we win, it's all because of them. And so when we're winning, I feel so happy for them. So you're going to see me flying around the field and pumping the crowd up all the time.
What was going through your head after you led for 8 points most of the game and then they cut it to 1?
Yeah, no, they did a great job. So teaching, I want to teach the fans too. I want to do like a arena football 101 almost. There was a time where, if you realize, they got the ball back in the second half, and so it was the end of the first half. And what they were trying to do was be the last team to score, and then thus being the first team to score in the second half. So that makes up a possession. So what I did was I purposely let them score so no time would be run off the clock, and then we'd have an opportunity where we could be the last team to score, if that makes sense to everybody. So what happened was, unfortunately, we did that, but we did not score. But we gave ourselves enough time. We realized we can do it. We realized we managed the clock properly. We didn't score, and then thus they made up one possession back in the game. But we knew it was going to happen. We knew that eventually you're up by 21 points. It's arena football. I've seen 35 scored in a minute, back and forth. So I don't think it was a matter that they did it. I think it was just a matter of when. So give all the credit to Jacksonville for doing that. But I tell you what, it comes down to, give all the credit to Mark Lewis, kicker, who at one time was sitting as a fan, 20 years ago, made all those extra points. The difference was one extra point in this game, and it definitely came to play for us to have victory.
How important is winning the first game of the season, and what does it do to your team's momentum going forward?
I think it was probably one of the biggest games of not only my life, but I think the Orlando Predators' life. It's a new arena football. I think a lot of people, losing doesn't solve a lot of problems. Losing only makes people go away. Losing makes people not pay attention. And when you get on a winning streak, we really say this, we've been saying this since day one, winning solves all problems. It really does. Maybe not every problem, but it solves a heck of a lot of them. So validation for the ownership that they got me in here. Validation for the players that we brought them in here. Validation for the fan base that we put something together. And I'll tell you what, we've been 0-6 for the last 3 years against Jacksonville. This team has won the division 4 years in a row. The fact that not only was this our first game, it was our first game versus Jacksonville, I think it says a lot to where we're going, and also to put a lot of this history in the last couple of years in the past. This is Orlando Predator football. We want to represent for Orlando, the Central Floridians, the fan base, and quite frankly, when people tune in to all these channels that are going to start covering us, we want the Orlando Predators to be at the forefront of arena football. And so I'm not going to hold back, and I'm not going to shy away from how proud I am of this team. But there's a fine line of cockiness and confidence, and we want to make sure that we are on top every single week, and we want those W's to keep going.
Speaking of the crowd, what did you think of it? There were a lot of Sharks fans out there.
Yeah, I was happy. That's good. It's a rivalry. So when you go 0-6 or 3-8 over the last 4 years, that's really not a rivalry. They're beating the crap out. And it got to a point where what is really a rivalry? 0-6 is not a rivalry. That's a butt kicking. So let's get it back to a rivalry. Now, I hope we win the other two, to make ourselves, not have a rivalry at all. But, we're very aware that, we are close to Tampa, we're close to Jacksonville. I think it only works wonders for the community and arena football in itself. You have to have rivalries. So I was proud that, the Sharks fans traveled well. Hopefully the Predators fans travel well when we go up there. But I was proud of the general, just overall tone of the day. This is Sunday at 4 o'clock. And it's the first game in a new arena. I mean, people didn't know what to expect, but I tell you what, it's only going to get better and better. And the noise was loud. They understood to get loud on fourth down. They were quiet for the, our offense. They very knowledgeable fan base, and I'm excited to meet them out here in a couple of minutes.
Jason, you had 7 total touchdowns today, 5 through the air and 2 on the ground. Where does this rank up in your career games here in the AFL?
Everyone's a big game, but this is the start of a new franchise for myself and Coach Keefe. First time being in Orlando, and so it was couldn't be a better feeling. Start season 1-0, let these guys know, our team know that we're for real. We're so talented, and as fast as we can come together, that's what I keep telling the receiving corps that I work with every day. As fast as we can come together and we get on the same page, we're going to do some special things. So that's what we've been progressing in practice and harping on, is doing the little things right. And I think it showed today. Yeah, we got some things to clean up, but we did a lot of good things today, and the defense helped us out when we got stopped at the end of the half. But overall, we did a lot of good things. I'm very pleased on the start of the season for us, and it just keeps leading up to bigger and better things throughout the season.
Jason, how is the chemistry building between you and Tompkins and Bell?
I had Bell from last year, so I already had a little chemistry with him. But all the receivers, we run so many plays, high tempo practice, high tempo walkthroughs. We run so many plays that we have such a good chemistry with all the receivers, and that's what I want to go to. I don't want to feel any uncomfortable with any guy running around. I want him to believe he can win, and I want to believe that he's going to win, which I know he's going to win every time the number's called. So that's what we're trying to do here, and that's the goal of our offense is when the number's called, and be the man that I can count on.
From your perspective on the field, what was it about Jacksonville that allowed them to come back in the fourth quarter?
They're a veteran crew. They have a lot of veterans on that team, and so they know the game of arena football. They know that the game's never over, so they're hanging back. They know that they're in it. No one's quitting. So we just had to keep our momentum going. We had to keep putting points up and limit ourselves from being stopped. I mean, they didn't stop us. We stopped ourselves. We had drop ball after interception. There's just things that we need to clean up, but overall, I think we did a lot of good things, and they're a good team. It's a good ball club, and hats off to them. But I'm happy we got the W tonight.
How was it playing the first game at the CFE Arena, and what do you think of your new home?
It's awesome. It's crowd's right on top of you. It's loud, and I hope bigger and better things when we start winning or keep winning, I should say. And we get a Friday night game. There's going to be about 10,000-12,000 people in there.
Do you think that this new arena is kind of like a home field advantage? I mean, you've seen how you get the kick, you can't get the kickoff at all, and then when it hits the wall, it's done. And, most of the dudes, they don't even realize how short of a field it is compared to a regular arena. You think that's like a home field advantage for you guys?
We got to make it a home field advantage. Somehow figure a way that this is our home field advantage. Whether we got 40-inch walls, let's make it a home field advantage. Somehow, some way, we're going to figure a way to make it our home, and fans be loud and proud, and we're here. Let's make it loud and do good things.
Absolutely.
Coach, one of the guys that didn't get on the field today was TT Toliver.
Mm-hmm.
Was that coach's decision? Is that injury?
No. TT's working hard. I think first and foremost, when great players get to a point in their career that they know that there's younger guys, coming up and pushing them. We realize that we have not only 18 games, we have 21 games. I mean, I'm playing the whole, the Arena Bowl trophy. And again, it's as humble as I can say it, but I really do believe that. So with that said, there's a rotation, and we're going to make sure that happens. I mean, we have not only TT, but we got a talented offensive lineman and a talented DB. It's competition breeds success, and TT was grateful. He was generous. He realized that, hey, let me get my body to where I want it to be. Let me make sure I'm getting myself in shape. I'm 37, 38 years old here now. So he understands that not only is it the best, supporter on the field during practice. I mean, he's one of the most knowledgeable receivers I've ever been around. And so what he's doing right now is he's teaching these guys, and they're learning from him. They're absorbing everything he has. But look to see him on the field here very shortly.
Can you talk about the Tiger?
I didn't see. I saw the Tiger. Did you see the Tiger?
I saw the Tiger.
Was it at halftime?
No,
beginning.
No, in the beginning.
First thing.
now look, so the game day operations crew came up to us, talked about this tiger, and the only thing I could think about was game canceled because there was a kid who was going to get mauled. But no, I tell you what, I think the best thing is there's a lot of people that have been brought from other teams with great ideas. And I mean, the ownership, we started from the bottom, from the ground up. I mean, it was a complete just overhaul of every spot. So there's great people that have great ideas, and we just want to get back to not only the jungle that we just had, but the old Amway. The jungle where it was like people were right on top of you and screaming. I mean, there's lions, I mean, there's tigers, I mean, who knows? But we are the predators, and we want that old kind of rock and feel where things are just out of control, crazy. Now, to a certain extent, but you're going to start seeing some more stuff where people are very, very excited. But I tell you what, to have a tiger on the field, I mean, hopefully that did something for the fans. I mean, I'm sure it pumped them up. I'm sure they realized how far we want to take this, but I stayed away, let's just say that.
I saw it in warm-ups. I didn't know what they were going to do with it. I'm thankful they didn't let it out the cage. I just saw it on the trailer. That thing was pretty big. People going up to it. I was like, I ain't going close to that thing. It was pretty cool actually seeing a tiger on the field, though.